So first tournament in 9 years. Rapid chess, 10 games a month. Perfect place to test myself. For anonymity reasons, any GCI viewers here? I'll be vague but close enough for ratings. I'll show you how well my first opponent played, and we'll look at one game up to a critical position. But because it was rapid chess, 25 minutes plus 5 seconds per move, which is the equivalent of 30 minutes, I could not know the whole games, and I ain't no Gary Kasparov, so I don't remember the games without notes. My Quebec rating is a provisional 1709 rapid. I did a tournament in like 2005. I was rated maybe 1650. Then a few games, but I don't even have 25 games yet. This means my rating might be volatile. Anyways, I played 2 games versus someone rated about 1865. One as white, one as black, and I lost both. Check this out. So I entered the games in chess.com analysis. Very useful. Look at that. 95.4 accuracy for my opponent. No inaccuracy, no mistake, no miss, no blunder. So I end up blundering at move 26, first mistake on my part, and he wins a pawn here. So it's actually a key position I want to show you. And over the time, I lost the game. I played really solid both games. And the other games, the same thing, I lost the pawn. And he's 160 something points higher than me. So while unpleasant to lose, I'm the underdog in those 2 games. And I want to get my revenge in next tournament. Unfortunately, I'm not allowed to play more than 2 games per opponent per tournament. 1 tournament per month. Bien joué si t'écoutes cette vidéo. We played a total of 4 games, so there's 6 games left to the tournament. This is game number 3. And we drew. At the end of the sequence, I'm up a pawn, but there's still a long way to the win. I was not able to win this. We were rated about the same, so it's an expected result. I stopped writing moves because of time pressure, okay? This is rapid chess once again. So he's playing e6. This invites e4 and will end up in a French defense exchange variations. Maybe that's something he wanted. As white, I don't mind playing French defense, no problem. As black is because I don't play e4 anyways, so it's rare I'm gonna get into French defense. And as I explained before, I prefer playing the Caro-Kann as black because the French defense, certain lines are absolutely insane, with a bunch of gambits that white can play. Too much theory to memorize. So this is a bit questionable. I was wondering where I should put my bishop. The computer thinks I should put it right here in e3. I decided to go there, but he's going to go back to e3 anyways. And what's the point of this, really? I hit the queen, but I mean, maybe I'm hoping he's going to play this, but he's not a noob. I mean, he could also, just move his knight, like knight f6c. So I don't know. It's not the best move. This is rapid chess once again, but I can do better than this. It's not horrible. What I want to do, as I said, I don't have to be surgical yet. I said that in several times already in the previous videos. So long as I don't blunder, like you saw the blunder that I did against a stronger player, and that blunder is not acceptable in the long term. But for now, I can sort of live with those. I'm getting back in the game. If you saw my 50 sub video, if you watch it through, I do show an estimation of the 5 to 10 year project of reaching 2300. And year 1 is to get back to my 1900 level play. So I am rated 1900, but I don't play like a 1900. So I give myself a year. And then after that, 4 years, 100 points a year, or 8 years, 50 points a year to reach 2300. So I decided to play this you see the arrow, I did attempt to analyze this before. You see, it's to prevent the pin. It's sort of prophylactics, a bit slow of a move, and already black is a little bit ahead. So 0.39 is not a big deal, but let's remember that black's job is to equalize first, and he already equalized. But white's okay, and now strange placement of the bishop, I suppose, based on the computer. But this is compared to perfection or near perfection. Bishop here. So I was thinking, the reason why I did this is I could have put my bishop on e2. You see the arrow there. I decided to challenge his bishop because my bishop would have been passive compared to his. His bishop is active and exposed. Yes, it's a bad bishop in theory because it's the same color as his pawn. So a good bishop like this one would be considered a good bishop because it's opposite color of the pawn, so it's very free to move. But in terms of activity, I felt like I should exchange these two bishops because his bishop is more active than mine, even though it's supposedly his bad bishop. And also pawn structures change all the time. He decided to kick my bishop and I put it back in the center. Queen here, I think his idea is, I was examining this. This is not a good move. It's lining up with my bishop. But, no, the idea is maybe to get a knight here and castle and just finish development. So, queen here, eventually I might put, I don't remember if I did that. Yes, I did. Rook C1 is one of the moves I'll be interested in playing. I'm going to castle. I'm going to want to line up my rook with his queen. I'm not sure what the best queen placement is, to be frank, but it's not a horrible move at all. They say queen d7 is a little better. But this is not, again, we're not looking for perfection. This is an okay move. A check mark is okay. I decided to, now should I have taken, I didn't want to take straight up like this because if he takes, he hits this bishop. And I want to keep at least one bishop. Even though this bishop is not very active, I decided that I prefer to force him to either exchange like this, challenge him. Either you exchange like this, or you go there, and now I take here. So that's the idea that I had. And he decided to take, and I took with my queen. So my queen is centralized, and it's not a target. On white squares, there's no white square bishop, so it's well placed, and I'm doing fine, and he's playing knight d7, which is okay also. So this is supposedly a questionable move, but I really did not like this knight. So maybe knight f3 would have been better. Yes, knight f3 or castle. But I decided to go here, and maybe if we go like this, we exchange. And if he refuses, I'm going to take his bishop. I'm going to have a bishop he wants. And that's a good bishop, again, because it's on opposite color of his pawns. But he's not going to allow this. He's going to take, and then queen takes. And now my queen's a little bit exposed, but of course he can't... well, he could kick it out a little bit if he wants, but of course it's not great for pawn structure, I suppose. Although he could maybe push his pawn after that. I'm not too sure. He decided to castle this side. My queen will be hit a few times, so I decided to... Oh, that's not what happened. Oh, but I still will end up with a rook here, remember this. So I decided to castle the other side and maybe push pawns against his king. Attack on this side. So he's going to attack on this side, and I'm going to attack on this side, so it's very common. Usually when somebody attacks you on one side, you counter-attack in the center, or if you can, if the center is locked, you attack on the other side. So that's the idea. So that is no attacking move at all. This is considered like a mistake. And the idea is maybe to do something like this, threaten this at least. Threaten maybe if he pushes, I take this. But it's very easy to defend against this. And it seems like a useless move. And advantage black. We'll see what he should have done. He's pushing the pawn. It's the right move. I go here. So what I should have done here, now it's advantage black at this point, but king b1, it's possible that the idea is to play this, or maybe something like, why did it move like this? Hold on. Oh, h4, yeah, and attacking. Yeah, that makes a lot more sense, and my rook is maybe line up with this, and they invite me to go toward the center. Also, I can push a pawn like this. Yeah, it would have been better than this sort of useless move that I did, but it's I don't know, is it that bad? Well, it brings into almost -2. Positionally, because we're even material, I have a difficulty explaining why this move is that horrible. But it's not a blunder though. Anyways, I go there, and he pushes again. So, that could be why. Gives him the opportunity to kick my queen. and I move it on tempo, gain some space. That could explain why my move was bad. So when I put my queen here, it gives him the opportunity to gain space on 2 tempi, or whatever. That could explain why. And my queen is hit again, and now I go there. Now it's much better placed. But where's the attack anymore? It's a little more difficult to attack, although I can maybe exchange stuff, but be careful because I'm lining up with this rook, so no, there's no way I would want to push this. So there's no longer really an attack for white, is there? A counter attack, so he's attacking me, but where's my counter attack? So that's probably why black is considered to be ahead. But I'll recover. Now he pushes, and I decided to retreat here, and it's not the best spot, so knight a4 would have been better, maybe more active. Is it because I can go here after? It's possible, but minus 0.67, maybe not as bad as earlier. After 94, I'm not sure. I think the idea is just to take this outpost here, a temporary outpost, of course, when I can. Right now I can't, but anyways, the knight here maybe has more defensive capabilities than but again, I shouldn't overthink when I see a check mark like this, because it makes it very difficult to understand. Because when I play a good enough move like this, I have a hard time to find the very refined move that would have been slightly better. That's for later when I refine my play. For now, it's just to avoid stupid mistakes as much as possible. I decided to push this pawn. I was hoping for this, which happened. Also, the idea is if he takes, I take like that. I sacrifice a pawn temporarily, but then I can line up my rook with his queen and I get this pawn back. So I do like that. So that's why I decided to play this. Let's go back. And what happened? He took en passant. And this frees me. I was a bit like, this knight was so bad and inactive. I'm able now to challenge this outpost knight and start opening up a line like this. I'm going to eventually move my king like this and open up a line like this with certain threats that you might be able to imagine. If I had a rook here, for instance, I'm threatening to take here, and he can't take like that. So I'm sort of at least pushing back his attack. His attack is starting to fail completely, and I come back to safety. As you can see, we are at this point right now. Now he takes, which is a questionable move. But, you know, it seems logical to me. Oh, the rook will be on c2. I thought I was... See how my memory is? I thought I moved my king here and I put my rook on c1, but it will be on c2. But yeah, I think, you know, doing this, he does get rid of the bishop. He still has this good... It's a good bishop, but it's not an active bishop. Or is it a good bishop? It's a good bishop on this side. On this side, it's blocked by its own pawn. He takes my bishop and enables, of course, this is coming after. What was recommended? Okay, so it's just to continue maybe a rook centralization, rook a e8. So that's what they say here. Then maybe I take. I sort of have to probably to get rid of. But then this is pretty good for black. So he loses this opportunity. With this. But again, this is rapid chess. We have 25 minutes, 5 seconds per move increment. So you're not going to see the more spectacular play. But no blunder yet. Only person who blundered, I think, is me. No, it's him. Okay, I thought it was me, but anyways. Well, there will be blunders after, but I stopped writing. So he tries to pin this knight, but I don't care about it. I just go there. Now I have a threat. I threaten this, and he can't take because I hit his queen. So that was my idea. And he didn't see it. I was very delighted about that. So what he should have done is just maybe move the queen. Yeah, exactly. Queen b6. Just move the queen. Okay, he didn't see it. I don't know how fast he played this move. He just blundered it. He didn't see it at all. So I was able to get my pawn, and this is gonna give me a pawn up, and we're gonna end up in rook endgame. I'm gonna try to win this with one pawn up, but they're not very advanced, and it takes time. It's very drawable if you're down a pawn in the rook pawn endgame. Depends on the position, but my pawns are not very advanced, and it's going to be a very long task and time pressure, etc. So what I want to do now is liquidate, exchange everything. So that's why I played this move. I double attack this and I hit the queen. Apparently it's a bad move. Rook d1 would have been superior. But look, queen c3 again. So once again, you take it with a grain of salt. Look, queen c3 is a good move, but computer prefer rook d1, right? Rook d1 here is better. Protects this pawn. But this move is perfectly okay, man. You see what I mean? 1 point. Now I'm gonna do it properly because I remember I was looking at the wrong place. Rook d1 is 1.08 and queen c3 is 0.76. This move is perfectly fine. I would argue this is an inaccuracy more than anything else. But even then, I would say with what I'm trying to do, this move is perfectly fine. What do you think? Please let me know in the comments. He plays this, and now we can just exchange. All I want to do again is liquidate everything, and here I can force queen exchange, which I will do because I'm up a pawn, right? So I want to liquidate everything, and I knew he was gonna try to 7th rank me, but he can't because I can just kick him out somehow. See, he does this, right? It's inviting, very inviting move, but all I have to do is this. Very easy to see. Even in Bliss, I would see that. So he goes here. And there's a way I can defend myself. That's right, another exclamation mark, because I'm going to double on the 7th rank because I cannot allow him to go 7th ranks. Rooks on 7th rank are so strong, of course, especially in an endgame like this. And decided to exchange, which makes me happy. I think he should have probably just retreated. Now, I'm not sure exactly where. Let's see what the computer says. So f3 or maybe rook to e5. Rook to e5. Or computer likes f3. Oh yeah, f3 is pretty cool too. G takes f3 or g3. I would be tempted to play g3 probably, but this pawn's pretty advanced. I'm up a pawn, right? But then if the king comes in, which actually happened, but it's not in the recorded moves, it could be problematic. Anyways, that's not what happened. This is a mistake because he allows me to liquidate even more, which is what I want. And then he checks me again. He tries again for 7th rank, but again, same thing, another exclamation mark here. Again, I'm just going to prevent him from staying in the 7th rank, and he has to move back. He went at the right place, of course, because if he moves anywhere else, I'm going to try to 7th rank him. But then there's a back and forth, and I have to look at the time because was I willing to go for triple repetition? It depends on how much time pressure I was at the time. But I'm about to stop writing moves. Now, the reason why I went there is because I'm covering everything. So my rook can move back and forth like this, and he can never 7th rank me. So let's say I want to free my rook and go, I don't know where. Let's say I want to go here, for instance. Well, this time he doesn't have the annoying 7th rank thing. Whereas if I was to move my rook like this, he can go back to the 7th rank again. So that's why I played this, and I said, I'm going to keep my king behind my rook. The problem is that my king is not active at all. Of course, when you want to win a rook versus pawn in game, first you have to accept the fact that pawns will be exchanged even though he's down material, and you need your king. My king is far ahead. It's going to cause me problems. That's why I was not able to win this game. And now he activates his king, which he should be doing, and he's going to try to come in inside here, and that's what he's going to do, even though I didn't write the moves. He comes in and starts pushing pawns and trying to make a pass pawn on his own, even though it's very difficult for him. And I have a 2-1 majority, so I'm going to have to try to queen on this side with an advantage. But he's going to, like, these 3 pawns, with the king, he can make a pass pawn on his own. So I decided to hit the pawn here, but he can, so it stopped here. I stopped recording the moves here. This will end up as a draw. And I was not that upset because at one point I was even scared to lose. But he will eventually be able to bring his king in and somehow make a pass pawn, and we'll both queen. So things became insane because of time pressure on both sides. I remember, I think he had time pressure as well. We had 5 seconds per move. I had like 20 seconds left or 30 seconds left. I tried to maintain that amount of time. Every time I play, I would receive 5 seconds. And we ended up in this crazy position because you know how much I suck at blitz. And I thought it would be a draw because if he queens, I take. And if he takes, you know, it's a draw. I said, okay, I drew this game, but what I didn't count on is him taking this pawn. He did that. That's what happened. Rook takes and queen takes. And you might think, plus minus 60 or whatever, easy win for black. Well, I'm going to tell you something. For those who don't know, mating, winning queen versus rook is winning, but it's very difficult to do in real life for a human being. And he has 50 moves to do it. So I was counting the moves, and we reach move 25, and there's another key position that we reach at move 25. After 25 moves, we're still not able to mate me, because every time, like, I can always, he's in check here, he goes here. I can always find ways to defend myself if I keep them close together like this. He checks me like this, I go there, for instance. There's always an annoying, I can always defend myself, but there's ways he can bring my king towards the sort of the corner, and I'm going to set up another key position, the end position, that led us to a draw. I was able to survive this because it was on time pressure. It's very difficult to do. I look it up. Rook versus queen is very, very hard to win, especially if you don't have time to think. So after more than 25 moves, again, he has 50 moves, otherwise it's a draw. This was the position. It was my turn to play, and I sacrificed my rook, and it's going to be stalemate. There's nothing he can do. He cannot move his queen. If he doesn't move his queen, we just exchange, and if he takes, stalemate. And that's how the game ended. Very messy. But that's because it's rapid chess, and we were in blitz mode in the end. Very messy, but I was happy with the result. At least I didn't lose I wouldn't say winning, but a huge advantage with this extra pawn. With a lot of work to do, because all the pawns were behind. I had to work to get the win, and I was not able to. I started messing up, but he messed up too, and we ended up in a draw, which I'm at peace with. More than previous video that I showed you where I made this horrible mistake. In this case, it's under time pressure, and I was very happy with this stalemate that I was able to force. And then the last game I won against somebody that rated about 1400, won a piece, and then won the game. So there's 6 games left. I have the rest of them not to play them. I don't have to play them. It doesn't matter. Well, I might go next week. And then 2 weeks from now, we have our tournament, classical chess tournament. And that will be a very important moment, a big test again. And what I'm doing right now is I'm playing as many games as possible, doing puzzles, and try to blunder as little as possible. What's cool too is that knowing that I'm about 1700-ish in Quebec in terms of rating, we'll talk about this Quebec versus rest of Canada thing. I learned something about why the Quebec Federation exists, but I'll talk about this in a future video that is not related to my my journey. Some of the videos, if you see a number on the corner, it's because I put it in a sequential number for my journey towards this crazy goal of 2300. Sometimes you'll see videos without a number. There will be videos that you can watch in any order because there's an order, right? So that's why I put a number so you can follow in order my progress. Otherwise, it will be all over the place, impossible to know my journey. It's like a diary, right? So, but I also make videos. I will also make videos that do not have a number on the thumbnail that will have different subjects. And one of the subjects is why does the Quebec Federation exist? It's a bit annoying because I'm rating almost 2,000 in Rapid in Canada and only 1,700 in Quebec. That's because I played less Rapid in Quebec. But anyways, my Rapid on chess.com is 1713 and in Quebec it's around 1,700 too. By the way, I will lose about 15 points after last Sunday. But again, there's 6 games left, so I can recover these points. And I don't really care about these points all that much. What matters to me is classical chess. This is how you get titles, okay? What matters the most, of course, is the FIDE. But for non-FIDE, there's National Master title as well, which will take me forever to guess. 2,200 plus conditions. You have to maintain this rating for a certain amount of time, depending. So I would have to look, again, Quebec versus Canada, which one I would get first and how long, would I reach Candidate Master first, which is 2,200 once in your lifetime in FIDE. It's possible. I'm not even sure which one is senior. Is it Candidate Master or National Master? I don't have a clue either. That's something I'll look up, and that will be another subject because there's all sorts of other titles in FIDE that may or may not be legitimate depending on who you're talking to, and it's a matter of opinion. I hope you liked this video. If you did, please hit thumbs up and leave a comment below. If you want to support this channel, you can subscribe and hit the notification bell to make sure you don't miss future videos. Thank you for watching and see you next time.